Hey everyone, I am Jonathan Troen. Welcome. So this is an interesting thing we're doing today. We're here with Lorraine. Say hi, Lorraine.
Hi, how are you?
So Lorraine and I met randomly in some group. Somebody asked something about life purpose, and a lot of people struggle with life purpose, why they're here, what they're supposed to be doing here. And I've worked a lot over the years helping people find, not find is the wrong word, discover what their life purpose is. When I found out my life purpose, which is about it's 2020 now. I get years confused now, right? Is it 2019, 2020? Sometimes I think we're in 2021. Time goes by so fast. So we're in 2020. So I got mine about 12 years ago is when I discovered what my life purpose was. And it just had a profound impact on me. So now, and I'll share what mine is later. But we're going to work with Lorraine. It's the first time I'm doing this on video. We thought we'd record it for people just so you can see what this process is and if it's something that you want to do for you. So are you ready to begin, Lorraine?
Sure, I'm always up for being a guinea pig for new things.
All right, cool. So first, I want you can close your eyes if you want to, and you'll see me. Oh, two things I should say. Sometimes I'm going to close my eyes. It helps me draw in different energies. Sometimes I have a little pad of paper over here and a pen. Sometimes I'm going to take notes. So if I'm not looking at you and I look down and I'm writing notes, it's just because I'm seeking to mark things down that I'm looking to remember. So don't be distracted by that. Usually in this first part, I ask people to close their eyes. So if it's comfortable to close your eyes, do. If that's uncomfortable because we're here on video, you can do what's comfortable for you. But I want you to get quiet inside.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine you are waking up this morning brand new. And you're waking up and you are fully charged. Fully charged. You feel the electricity flowing through your veins, flowing through your arms, your legs. You are completely energized. And you have today given to you a superpower to be able to help people. I want you, with this superpower that you have, to go somewhere in your mind. It can be anywhere. It can be a place where people are, but it can be a city square. It can be out in nature. And I want you to go somewhere where there are people. And I want you to look around and see who's there. I want you to take in this space, the sights that you see, the sounds that you hear, the smells, anything else that's going on there. And I want you to feel that you are in this place, charged and ready. And someone there, or maybe it's more than one person, but someone or some people there need your help. And you go over to help them. And as you're helping them, I want you to notice who you're helping. I want you to notice what you're doing. And most importantly, I want you to notice what you're feeling inside as you're helping this person or these people. Do you have the image in your head of who you're helping and how you're helping them? So keeping this experience, now I'm going to ask you some questions about this journey. Where are you? Where did you go?
In an auditorium on a stage.
And what did you see? What did you see? What did you hear? What was significant about this place that you remember?
Just a room full of people just waiting to get answers.
Hmm. Who needed your help?
There's a mixture of people, from teenagers to adults.
And did you help one in particular, or did you help a group of teenagers and adults?
They were asking questions, and so I just addressed their
So
questions.
you were answering questions.
Yes.
What kind of questions did they ask? Do you know?
Wasn't really clear.
Mhm.
Various questions.
So the questions themselves weren't clear, but they were asking you, and you were able to answer them.
Yes.
And how did it feel for you? So they were in the audience, right? You were on the stage, they were in the audience. Is that correct?
Yes. Like, one of the questions was pertaining to sexual abuse that they've suffered.
Any other questions that come up?
Nothing really clear. No.
Was that the general theme? Was sexual abuse a general theme of questions there, or were there just all kinds of questions and that was one?
No, it was more like the theme was more like overcoming some kind of trauma or abuse, and
Okay.
how yeah, like how to move past it and what to do.
Yeah. And how did it feel for you? So you're up there in, well, let me, are your answers impacting them? Can you tell that they hear you?
Yes.
So how does that feel for you? You're up in this stage and you're helping people who have been through trauma, serious trauma, sexual abuse, other traumas, and you're helping them. What are you feeling inside as you do that?
Well, it's a mixture of emotions, because first of all, I'm saddened that they've had to endure something as horrific as whatever they've endured,
Yeah.
but also happiness that I was able to help them in some way.
Both sides of that, the sadness and the happiness, are important. I'm going to play with the happiness for a moment, and I want you to go into more detail. How do you know you felt happiness? What did that feel like for you?
Well, it was, I don't know if happiness is necessarily the right word. It was more a sense of satisfaction, that knowing that I was able to help somebody.
Satisfaction. What other
Right.
emotions come up?
A little bit of outrage that, this is a common thing
Yeah.
among so many people. Um, it's there's always, so many emotions attached to a situation that involves abuse.
Mhm.
And and I know that firsthand, because I suffered abuse. I've suffered trauma. I was raped when I was a virgin. I've gone through, so many different types of things over the years. And it sort of makes sense that these are things that are coming to the forefront of my mind, simply because my second book that I wrote, which I never set out to write, all came about as a result of me wanting to help people further.
Yeah.
Um, like you and I don't really know each other, and a lot of my, people on Facebook who do know me there know that I have been through a lot, and that I have shared what I've learned to cope with feelings of depression and suicidal thoughts and all of those kinds of things. All of the strategies and techniques that I've used personally and that I've learned over the years, I shared in my book called From Nope to Hope. And so that came about as a result of me sharing my experience with my suicide attempt in a blog post years ago. And when I discovered that I was getting like over 500 people a day reading that, I was just so shocked that so many people were feeling the despair and the hopelessness and the pain and the worthlessness and everything else that's tied in with those kinds of feelings and thoughts. And even though I offered some tips in the blog post for what to do when you're feeling that way, I knew there was just so much more that I could share. And so that's what prompted me to write my book. And my book's like over 300 pages long. So obviously I'm not going to, that's too much for a blog post on the internet. So it's come to my attention that, like I always used to question, why did this happen to me? Why, because that's what we do, right? We're always like, well, why me? Why this? Why is this happening? And I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, even though we might not know what that reason is at the time. Everything happens for a reason. And for years, I couldn't figure out why that happened to me, being raped when I was, 14 years old and a virgin at the time. And I always wondered, like, why? And, so anyways, now, it's been 33 plus years later, I figured out why, because I'm able to help other people with their traumas and abuses and everything else. And I never set out to be sort of placed in this position of being an influencer in that regard. And it was pretty amazing to me when after I had published that blog post, and I started getting emails and messages from people saying, like, thank you, you saved my life. And it was like, what?
So,
Like,
so tell me about
wow.
that part, because I want to get to that part of you for this purpose. And I have a feeling now that I know a little bit more of your story, we're going to talk about your book, but that's not the purpose of this. But we're going to have another interview if you want. We're going to get on a call and share with people so we can learn that part of the story, because that's an important part of the story and a part of who you are.
Okay.
So that you can have maximum impact on the people. I want to draw out that part of you that is really helping people now. That person that's on the stage, that's not just answering questions, but picturing those people that you are helping on the other side. Someone was struggling and hurt like you were. And we carry that. It's not like, I mean, trauma does get healed, and we work through that, but it doesn't disappear, right? The stories are still there. So you're with people and you're answering their questions, and you have the power to transform them, and you see them change in front of you because of what you're able to share with them and perhaps even pull out of them. I want to know about that part of you. What does that person feel who has succeeded in changing someone's life, in saving someone's life?
Strong, capable, knowledgeable, compassionate, understanding, and relatable.
Can you feel that in your body, that the strong, capable, knowledgeable, compassionate and understanding person? Can you feel the essence of that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's who I am every day.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
I
Yeah.
want you to give that part of you some sort of nickname. That's not your name. That's not Lorraine. That's not a family member or anything like that. But can you give that part of you this nickname, this essence?
Yeah, the warrior.
The warrior. So here's what a life purpose is to me. And different people, there are different ways to do life purpose. This is what worked for me. And it's a statement that says, I am blank who blanks. And sometimes there's another one. I am blank. So for you, it sounds like I am the warrior who blanks, who does something for others. So I'll share my life purpose with you, which doesn't exactly fit that formula, but it's close. I am the good spirit who radiates love. That's
Okay.
who I am. It's what I do with my life. That's just an example. Other people are I am the doctor who heals the wounded. I am the lighthouse who shines a light for those that are lost. These are just different types. So for you,
Right.
I am the warrior. What is it that the warrior?
Yeah, I'm thinking there should probably be an adjective of some sort in front of warrior though. But
Right.
so I am like the compassionate warrior
Oh, wow.
who helps other people overcome, not overcome, who helps other people become empowered while coping with their trauma.
So say that one. It seems long to me, but we can play with it. Maybe that is it, and it's just longer. And maybe this often we get the first draft and we have to play with it. And even what we come up with today, you're not locked into. Mine changed about 5 years ago, just a little bit. It was I am the good spirit who shines the light of love, and one day it changed to I am the good spirit who radiates love. About 5 years ago. Because I could embody it more if it radiated. So that's just to say we're not locking ourselves into anything. It can change
Right.
today, it can change over time. But let's say that out loud. I am the compassionate warrior who helps other people become empowered while coping with trauma.
I am the compassionate warrior who helps empower other people while coping with their trauma.
So how does that feel for you?
Fairly accurate.
Really accurate. Does it make you feel empowered to do that work?
Yes.
Does and it's not about me, it's about you. Does it feel long? Does it need to be tightened up, or that just encompasses it?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit long. I think, being the wordsmith that I am, I could probably tighten it up a little bit for sure.
So let's play with it. What do you see? How can that be tightened up for you? So that here's the life purpose statement. My belief. You should be able to say it
Let it just roll off your tongue.
within
Like,
once someone says, "What's your life purpose?" Boom. You don't have to think about it. It just comes out from your heart. As someone says, "What's your life purpose?" I'm the good spirit who radiates love. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to think of all the little pieces. It is so powerful. It is there. It is embedded in me. So that's what we want to come out for you. Nothing that you need to think about. It's just so simple and so a part of you that anyone will understand it.
I'm
And
an author who helps other people become authors. That flows off my tongue a lot more than probably anything else because I've written that. It's in my bio on practically every podcast I've done, every article I've written online.
But is that it? That's a
But
lot
it's,
different. I am the author is a lot different than I'm the compassionate
yes,
warrior.
I know. And that's the thing, because there's like the two sides of me, because there's the part where, that's what I do for my business, but I love doing it. I love working with words. I love helping others achieve their dreams.
So I want you to
So
separate.
maybe I should combine the two. Like, I'm the warrior who helps others achieve their dreams, who empowers others and helps them achieve their dreams. Like, it's an sort of an all-encompassing kind of statement. And yes, it would be a little bit longer than most, but it's more accurate that way.
Yeah. Because one of the things we need to do is separate what we do from who we are. So this life
Yes,
purpose statement is,
but Jonathan,
yes,
I built my business around doing what I love.
which is
I
awesome.
love helping others. I love teaching others. And I love helping others succeed at whatever it is they're trying to succeed at, whether it's overcome their crap from their past or become an author and share their story. Whether their story, that the book that they author is pertaining to their past or pertaining to their business or whatever, like, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
like, because everyone in the world has a story. We all have experiences that are unique to us, and by sharing those experiences with others, number one, it helps us heal, and number two, it also teaches others and empowers others. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like something that kind of goes full circle, really, because it's like the student becomes a teacher kind of thing, right? And it carries through from generation to generation to generation. It's like, at the age that I'm at now, if I was in certain cultures, like, elders are very, very revered because of their experiences and wisdom and the stories that they pass down to others from generation to generation. And, it just kind of carries through. So it almost feels like I've, reached that point in my life, like, okay, yes, baby, kid, teenager, young adult. Now I'm in, like, my middle stages here, right?
Hmm?
So I know that I'm the progression of life. Like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. That doesn't really matter at this point. But this is where I'm at now, where everything is starting to make sense and be like, oh, well, this is why that happened. Like I said, like, why did this happen to me? Now I'm discovering all that, and I'm using my knowledge and experiences and wisdom and my education and everything to change other people for the better, to leave my mark on the world, to leave this world in a better place than it was when I found it. Like, if I were to die tomorrow, I could say, yes, at least I've left behind this for people. I've got my writings, I've got my books, I've got
Beautiful. It's what we
the
all
other,
should be thinking. Let's
right,
all, if you're watching
right,
this, leave the world a better place than when you got here. That's it.
right.
Should be all of our mantras.
Yeah. And I mean, if everybody practiced that, then yes, the world would
Yeah.
be an improved place to live
So
with
let's go to what
improved
we have
people.
now for life purpose. So I am the compassionate warrior who empowers others to achieve their dreams.
Hmm.
Say that.
I am the compassionate warrior who empowers others to achieve their dreams.
How does that feel to you?
That feels like it makes more sense to me. It feels right.
Yeah. What does your heart feel when you say that?
Full.
Mm. All right. There's your life purpose. You got it. I don't
Yeah.
know how much time this took. I don't see a clock here, but that's all it takes to get a
Didn't
life
take
purpose.
it's 11. I have it as 11:27. Probably took about maybe
Yeah.
23 minutes ish.
So that's your
20,
life
20,
purpose.
just, yeah, around 20 minutes. Like,
Now
yeah.
here's
And and what's really interesting, Jonathan, is that I knew this in the back of my mind. Like I said, I was really curious. We talked before the call, and I was kind of curious as to about the kind of questions you were going to ask me during this discovery call, right? Because you always, you see so many different things online. You see so many coaches. Like, coaching is a huge thing now because it's so
yeah.
effective, and because it works, and because it helps provide clarity to an individual who might have the clarity in the back of their mind but hasn't brought it to the surface yet. And I think I was sort of hovering somewhere between, here's the surface, here's the back of my mind, and I was like sort of like kind of inching closer but not quite there. So
Yeah.
that was why I was really curious and wanted to and agreed to participate in, you know, sharing this sort of experience with someone else who might not otherwise, you know, who might be curious but might be too shy
Yeah.
to ask about, well, what does this involve? Or, you know, because for
So
me,
have
I'm a
you found
pretty
it
outgoing person.
having
Yeah.
these words, do you find that beneficial to you? Because you're already doing a lot of this work. So the work you're doing won't
Hmm.
change. But do these words help you?
Yes, nailing it down and to, you know, like one clear defined sentence.
Yeah. So let me
Now,
share.
I
Oh,
might
go ahead.
change, you know, I might play around with it and
Of
change a
course.
little bit of, you know, the wording or something, but the whole process, you know, like to the exercise of, you know, how to go about nailing it down and what you know, sort of envision yourself doing. Because I have done guided meditations
Hmm.
before. And so I came into this experience with that background already of having done sort of some journey work, you know, like the picturing of, you know, where you are, what you want to do. And it's always like fuzzy at first for me. And then as you kind of sort of keep going, things just kind of sort of fall into place. Like it doesn't, like it takes some time. But that's sort of similar with the guided meditations as well that I've done. It's like, you know, they're guiding you to try and, you know, go from, like I said, you know, to the surface. And that's sometimes what people just need. You know,
It's
they
about
just need
living a
that
conscious
extra.
life. It's about having it better.
Right.
Everyone has that. It's inside of them already. I didn't give you anything. I didn't say all these words came from your mouth. I didn't say
Right.
anything. It's just
Right.
about bringing it to the surface so that you can have it not in the unconscious, but fully conscious, so we can live a conscious. And here's how I use my life purpose is that I say it every day. Every day I say it, and then my work gets stronger with it. And what I
Mm-hmm.
also do, and this might be helpful, is sometimes someone will come to me with something, and we also have a mindfulness center that we have, Austin Yoga Tree, that's here in Austin, Texas. You know, so people come to us with different ideas, and I'm always able to know whether I should do something or not, because all I have to do for me is I ask the good spirit. I go, is this something I should do or not? And
Right.
he knows right away. He just says yes, and I'm like struggling, you know, all the thoughts. Well, this is what's good, and this is let's make the chart of pros and all that. I don't do that anymore. I just go to the good spirit, go yes or no, and I get my answer. So you have the compassionate warrior. You can just go to the compassionate warrior. The compassionate warrior is never afraid, and I'm assuming it's a she, but correct me if I'm wrong. She always knows the answer, and that's really
She
powerful.
does. I mean, and that's why she survived all these years.
Yeah. So Lorraine, thank you so much for doing this with me, for sharing this video. With your permission,
My
I'm going to share it with
pleasure.
others.
You definitely have my permission to share everything.
Great.
Yes. And I
Now,
will help you share it as well.
oh, thank you. I want you to
Yes.
say we're going to, if you're open at some point after this, we're going to schedule another call, and I want to learn more about your book, but can you share about the name of your book again and where people can find it?
Oh, my book, From Nope to Hope, is available on Amazon.
Awesome.
And it's also available on my website, wordingwell.com.
Wonderful.
There's an actual, if people want the digital edition, it's cheaper to get it, better to get it from my website because they can actually get a typable, like they can, because there's exercises at the end of each chapter.
Hmm.
So they can actually type in the digital version if they get it from Wording Well, but if they get it from Amazon, they can't.
Okay.
If they order it from Amazon in print, yes, you can write in it, because I have like in the print book at the end of each chapter. I'll just quickly show you. Yeah, So here, so there's a spot here.
Cool.
You know, sometimes there's like a little chart to fill out, or, you know, questions, different things like that.
So,
So it's got a built-in
just so
workbook.
everyone watching this knows, I had no idea she'd written a book. This was not about promoting a book. This is just about life purpose. I learned that she had a book at the same time you learned she had a book. But it seems really interesting to me. So I wanted to share that, and I want to find out more
But
about
it's connected with my life purpose, though,
it. Yes.
because like I said, there's the two sides of me. And and we can talk about this on another call, but it is interesting because I never set out to be a business owner. I never set out to write this particular book. That
I
was
get it.
not in my, you know, in my intention. And it just kind of, and that's the interesting thing with life is, you know, we look at the experiences we're given and the opportunities that arise out, you know, as a surprise from it. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what, you know, what happened with me. And so now I am actually the embodiment of someone who is living their dream
It's
by
beautiful.
helping, you know, building a business around my passion, which is words, and helping others. So those are all combined. And so I mean, I think it's great that we connected. And it was Abigail Sinclair who connected us. And she, because she had written a post a couple of weeks
Yeah.
back about, she was you know, doubting her purpose, and she was wondering like if, you know, that was her true purpose or not. And I've known Abigail for a while, and that's why I kind of, you know, I had commented on that post, because it's like, Abigail, like, you help others by empowering them by with your experiences. Like, that's why she and I connected initially. And she runs the, I believe it's called the Human Network Connection, the HNC. So she connects like-minded individuals together, and that's what she does. And she, you know, she helps people, you know, with the right, get on the right podcast, sort of, you know, that sort of thing. So that's, you know, that's how we met. And so it's a wonderful group of people that we know online and in our circles. So
And here we
I
are,
just
and
I
that's
just
how we
wanted to
connected.
mention that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll let you wrap this up so we can get
Great.
on with our day and
Thank
share this
you.
out. And
And just to be clear,
yes,
I never set out to be a life coach either, but here we are. If anyone watching this, if you want to know your life purpose, if you want to go through this, you can find me at selfloverevolution.com, selfloverevolution.com, and you can find my contact info up there, and join the revolution so you can learn how to love yourself, be kind to yourself. And if you want, we can find your life purpose too. And thank you so much, Lorraine. I really appreciate it.
it's my pleasure, Jonathan.
All right. Bye-bye.